All right, let's see if everything's working here correctly. Okay, Spotify. Okay, we got a little bit of lag here. Why do we have that? Nothing else on. Nothing else doing its thing. Interesting, weird. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to the stream. Thank you, Sunny, for putting in your points for our treat for our assistant Sora. Ooh, that puts us up to 72% with 9 days left.
Sunny_Ruth just gave 1 bit supporting the Stitched Tales book series.
Stream may be crashing. Hold on. Okay, didn't crash. Woo. Thank you for the 1 bit. Thank you, Sunny. Appreciate that. I gotta figure out, I know there's a bunch of stuff I can do with the bits. Lots of bits.
Sunny_Ruth just gave 1 bit supporting the Stitched Tales book series.
We got the bits happening in 2 different places here. Why is that causing it to... What's happening here today? Is this another scuff day? Oh god, I hope it's not another scuff day. Let's see. I did a bunch of work last week on the stream stuff, trying to get some of the alerts and things fixed. I heard crashing and was like, do it again. No, it's being... I don't know what's going on. Something is pulling a drag on the system right now, and I don't know quite what it is. We haven't changed anything. Everything's still... All the same things are running. I don't understand what's up. Okay, so we're getting all drivers up to date. Yeah, everything's up to date. I actually checked for OS updates this morning and there was nothing new. So it's not any of those things. Okay, that one's that one. One's the pet the puppers one. Here. We're gonna run a test real quick. Okay, that's the one. Don't want that. Let's get rid of that one. Okay, so now bits should just show up over on the left-hand side, which is good. I think we want this... I think we just want Pet the Puppers on the... over top of our image. I think that's right. Check. Charities, hype trains, yes. Ooh, save your work. Is that one? Where's that one go? That one goes there.
Tahoe Anime says save your work.
So we've got save your work, stretch, and pet the assistant all going here. I apparently had like 114 drivers out of date yesterday. Holy smokes. That's wild. Yeah, put the cheers over there.
Sunny_Ruth just
so they're all good now.
Emoji, Tahoe cheer, sparkles emoji.
I had to download an AVG driver update and it took care of all my drivers. That's funny. No, I don't quite know still what the problem is, besides it being... New PC will do that to you. Yeah. Besides being still a problem with the operating system, and maybe not having all of these applications up to date on the new operating system stuff, which seems really random and weird, but... I think oops, I said it twice. I think I want to change...
Tahoe Anime says big stretch.
Where it needs to be.
Tahoe Anime pet the assistant.
That one's right. Do I just want to make... Do I just want to put just Pet the Assistant on this one by itself so it's over there in that corner? That means nothing else will pop up anywhere else. Which alerts do I have here at the moment? Alert cheer, which one is that? So if I send this test, it should be Pet the Assistant, right?
Tahoe anime Pet the Assistant.
Which she's not there right now, but that's okay. Chat. Okay, I do have alerts. Why is this one alert cheer on here? Ooh, I don't think I need that one anymore because I got rid of it. Because I got the other cheers on the other. Should be on this one. Channel points. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, those are there now.
Tahoe anime just redeemed sparkles emoji. Tahoe cheer, sparkles emoji.
Okay, I think I got that figured out, which is good. Next part, I need to figure out, since we're dealing with problems. So I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM, and I've apparently got 50 gigabytes of virtual RAM, apparently. Interesting. It already comes with, that would be 18. That means you've got 18 in there somewhere. Not sure. Anyways, I have a couple adjustments to make to our camera. I'm gonna be right back. Give me 1 second. That should do. Oh no, altogether it's 82. So it gives you extra 20? Oh wait, altogether it's 82. Gotcha. 50 plus 30. Yeah, I got you. I thought you were saying like it was giving you... Anyways. Something weird. Okay. Got camera resituated. So what I was messing with here, trying a new setup. Got this one for the outside. I went out there to move this, and Sora looked at me like, please don't make me go inside. She doesn't want to be in. She just wants to hang out right there. That's what she's doing. I was trying to get this one set up inside of the house, and it just, we have a curtain that's broken in there. So I just took and put it outside for the moment. So we'll see how it goes, see if it overheats or not, or what's going on with it, but we'll go from there. Oh, the problems. No, I'm still running into issues with the new Mac OS. It every once in a while it's fine, but every once in a while it's not fine. It's like it can't decide what the hell it wants to do. And it doesn't do anything to your guys' side of the stream. I've watched and even gone back and watched through some of the videos and stuff like that. You guys can't see it, but for some reason on my second monitor, and even on the main monitor too, when it decides to like get slow for some reason, it just affects my side, what I see, not what you guys see, which is odd because it's usually, if it happens to one, it happens to both. So the fact that it doesn't is odd. Either they have something wrong with their drivers, or the problem with their liquid glass thingamajiggy that they came out with, which is kind of dumb, that just eats a bunch of memory and stuff. There's just issues with it. It's just kind of weird, silly, stupid, those type of things. But anyways, that's my shtick, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, now that I've rambled and ran around like a crazy person trying to do a bunch of different random things. Hello. Good morning. It's Monday. I missed all y'all. Friday, we did not have a stream. I know Bishak was very disappointed in that. I had a doctor's appointment. It was just my yearly checkup. I had already done the blood work the week before. Everything looked good. Doc was happy with me. We talked a little bit about insurance because insurance is dumb, and unfortunately we had to change our insurance for a cheaper one because everything doubled in price. So we had to find the cheapest one on the marketplace that we could get, and it was still like $100 more than we were paying last year, but it was the one we could afford, and it was better than nothing. So but we talked about that a little bit, and she was sad because it's like I want to keep her as a doctor, but they don't accept that new insurance. So luckily I was able to self-pay for that visit and stuff like that. But it was one of those things that if she needed to be able to make a recommendation to me to like another doctor, or to go get a specialist, something like that, they couldn't do that because of the way all of this system works. It's very dumb. Luckily I don't need any of that stuff, but it was like, hey, if it ever comes up, you will run into a little bit of issues with that because we're not covered, and we can't really do anything for you in that way. So we can't send in any referrals for you. I was like, that sucks, but understandable. So that was why I was gone on Friday, trying to figure out that, especially because Mrs. Tahoe also goes to that doctor's office as well. So, I was like the guinea pig. I had to go figure out all of the stuff and see if there was paperwork and stuff that I'd fill out, see what the options were for self-pay and stuff like that. So it was one of those kind of days. So I was there pretty early, and I got in to see the doc, and I wasn't sure if it was going to take me a little while, or if it was, I just wasn't sure. But I was just like, I'll just cancel Friday's stream, just in case I do run late or behind or whatever. I don't want to like try to rush home to try to jump on stream and just have a whole, I don't want to have a terrible time trying to get everything like set up and frantically running around trying to make everything work like in 30 minutes or something like that, because that would be painful and not very fun to watch or deal with as I was being a butthole on stream. So I was like, you know what, I'll cancel Friday's stream. I'll do with the doctor's visit, insurance stuff, and then I'll come home and I'll do some other stuff around the house because I had other chores and stuff that I needed to be done and things like that. So it's like, that's a better use of my time for the day. And then I will be back on Monday and keep working on different things then. So, and then on Sunday, yesterday we were going to do our 500 Little Things podcast episode. And we decided to go do a bunch of other things for the day. So we went to the farmer's market in the morning, walked around that for a couple hours. And then when we came home, we decided that it was beautiful weather. It was time to get the backyard in shape a little bit and get our deck all cleaned off, because we had to wash everything down because we had some rats that decided to move through the area and tried to make our house a livable spot and jumped all over everything and left us juicy little nuggets of letting us know that they were there, that needed to be washed and cleaned and sanitized and all that stuff. So we had to do that on Sunday as well, and that took us quite a bit. So we decided, like, after that, we were kind of worn out for the day, and we were thinking about the podcast episode, and we're like, do you want to cancel and just watch a movie or something like that? Because we were pretty out of it, and it's like, yeah, let's do that. That sounds like a good idea. We may have pushed it a little bit, is what we did. We spent a lot of time outside doing a bunch of different stuff, so it was a good change of pace for the moment. But hopefully we'll be back on Sunday with a new episode of 500 Things, 500 Little Things. But we are also talking about maybe changing it to either like a bi-weekly episode, or Dreamer threw out the idea of maybe a monthly episode, but I don't know about a monthly one. I would definitely give us more to talk about because that'd be more time that goes by. The podcast episode is a little bit different than like these episodes where I'm working on stuff on stream, where the topics, like, it's all about talking, where this is more about just working on projects and stuff like that. Different focus, so we don't want to run out of things to talk about either, or start repeating a whole bunch of different things either. Let's open up this real quick. So we're trying to figure it out. She could do 500 little recipes and cook for us. You know what? I will let her know. She would like that idea. Maybe we'll swap it, and it'll be some talking episodes and some cooking episodes. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. We'll let y'all know. Trying to figure out how to do all the things we want to do, for sure. Let's see. What was I doing here before? Yeah. Do you like my silkworm badge? Yes. I thought it was an elixir. Alex could salivate watching the screen. Right? I think that would make a lot of people jealous, watching the food being made. I do have to say though, Dreamer is a pretty messy cook, is the kicker on that though. It'd be a lot of her doing cool cooking stuff and me running around trying to clean up all of the messes. It's usually how we run things. Chaos, that gets views, right? Kind of looks like an elixir baby. Marathon silkworm. You got worms, B-Shack, you got worms. So anyways, that was what was up with the weekend and everything else like that. But I'm back this week for streams Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We should be all good there now. What else do we've got going on? I do want to let you know, as soon as we get to spring break, which I do want to bring up my calendar real quick so I can look at it. Spring break, actually that's next week. So next week we should be good with doing streams, but the week after that, which would be the 30th through April. Would be March 30th through April 4th, 5th, I believe. We've got some, we don't have it in our calendar. How come we don't have we're doing a little trip for my daughter's 16th birthday. So when my son turned 16, he wanted to go back to Disneyland and do a little trip there. And we put it all together, and then we asked like the grandparents and stuff, said, hey, if you guys want to come, this is when we're going, this is what we're going to do. Kind of like a 16th birthday extravaganza kind of thing. And so we did that for his 16th birthday. So when daughter's birthday came up for her 16th, we asked her, and she'd originally wanted to maybe go to Universal Studios. And we were kind of like, oh, cool, we've never been there. We'll have to figure out how that all works and stuff like that. And then the idea slightly changed and shifted as we got closer and closer last year. And she's like, you know what? I don't think I want to go to Universal. I want to go do something else. She wants to go to Carmel? No. The Monterey Bay Aquarium. She wants to go down to the ocean. There's a zip lining tour that happens in the Redwood Forest around there too. So we're going to go do stuff like that. She wanted to go do like a more adventurous outdoorsy type of trip. So we put something like that together for her. So we will be, because our spring break is 2 weeks long. So that'll be the second week of spring break that we'll be going in. I'll be gone basically for that week. So there won't be any streams. There won't be basically any of the stuff we've got going on. But once we get that all specifically planned out, I will let you all know. I'll put up a post and do all the things for it too. So, but yeah, that's the idea at the moment. On her favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Yeah, she had changed her mind. She's like, I think she was interested. I think if we were going to Universal in Florida, she would have been totally on board because it's got all kinds of really cool stuff there. But they're also in the middle of building a bunch of stuff. It's kind of the same way between Universal and Disney right now, right? Like they're both in the middle of huge projects that they're working on, building new stuff and everything else like that. So it's like, do you want to go to the parks while they're in the middle of construction, or do you want to wait until like they have all of their stuff done and then be able to see all the cool new stuff? It's kind of like one of those. It's weird, but not saying that people shouldn't go, and I hope they have a good time. Okay, so we've got, I want to work on some of my marketing stuff that I've got going on. These are little table runners that I've built. This was the one I made for when the first book came out. They sit on a table. Do I have the, hold on, I think I have, yeah, I do. Let's see if it looks, yeah, this is what they look like when they're on the table. So they hang over the edge and they display information, have the characters, stuff like that. I had them have QR codes so that people can scan them and stuff like that. This version of these banners didn't actually end up working out like this. The tables ended up a little bit shorter than I had thought they were going to be. So these ended up getting ended up getting folded so that they were like this instead. Same thing with this one. So the QRs and codes and stuff like that were up on top of the table, and then this just banner had just a little drop here over the edge, which is not bad. It was pretty good. Worked out really, really well. Gave it a little color, gave it a little something to look at, that kind of thing, which is good. I want to look at the design, because this is not bad. Don't want to save that. So this is where I have this is my guides that I have on here at the moment. So you can see where this red one is, kind of down here. This is where this is supposed to fold over the edge, and then this half of it was up on top of the table. But I ran into an issue where as I was setting up the tables, we started to put stuff on top of these guys. So they didn't actually end up working out. The QR codes and stuff on top of the... So I'm trying to decide if I want to nix those and just leave that open so then I can put stuff. Probably be a better idea. I'm also making it a double-ended banner here where I can flip it either direction and they display different... they can be used for different things. Like this one is reading is fun and this one is about the animal adoption part of it. So it's like, oh, okay, I can dual end it and I can flip it depending on what I want for each event kind of thing. But I think I want to change... I thought I had done part of this last time when we were working on this project, but I don't remember which template I saved it onto. I don't think I saved it at all. Or maybe we ran into issues while I was building it. That's guides. That's fine. These are the QRs that I'm not too sure about yet. Thank you, Bishak, for putting in your points towards our treat for our assistant, Zora. I think she's still out there. Oh yeah, she's still just hanging out there. Okay, so gotta figure out this one look different. I don't want the overprint. Don't want the overprint. Don't care about that. Okay, so which layer? No. No. Which layer is it? There it is. That one and that one. Duplicate. Yeah, I thought I did something like this last time and it kind of worked and kind of didn't work at the same time, if I remember correctly. So we need to change what is our size on the other one? 26 is our size, 39 and 52. Let's change it to 26. this was like 39, 52, I think. 39. This was 52. Yeah, something like that. Seems off though. Oh, it's got to go behind. That's why. I gotta reconfigure everything because it's gonna be off. How did I do that? That's right, I built this all as one piece and then the one piece. Sorry, had to. There we go. That's better. I was like, I'm not matching or something. Okay, that's better. Let's... that for the moment. Yeah, it's got to go behind. That's the big deal. So I could double it up. Can't double it up. So that means I have to do this. This here. Those are dots for that. That's that. Let's put this down here. Okay, so that works at the moment. There. Okay, so it works like that. So I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to do a version like this. Do I like, because I think we changed it last time. Pretty sure. Yeah, it was much different. Okay, I see what it did. I had shortened those and then made that longer. Let's get rid of this for a second. Okay, yeah, I see what I did. I brought these way up to here. So the whole idea is I'm trying to do two different setups. And I'm using these in two different ways. One for table and one where these are folded in half. And did I fold them in half? I want to be able to put them over top of a hanging setup where, yeah, I can fold them in half and have them dangled down. The problem is I got these big open caps now. These are what you call designer problems, trying to figure out how to double end everything. Sorry, I had to walk away to blow my nose real quick. Is this gonna work the way I want it to work? save it. Got enough room there. Oops. Do I want to take and put a... Should have a photo. Let's find a layer. Let's put it on... Let's put it up here. New layer. If we took bed, this, do white, can we do how do we change this? Pretty sure rasterize is not what I want to do. It is not. Let's embed that. Do we want to mask it? Mask? Okay, mask is what we wanted. Round. Let's put it on the outside, which it does not like. Okay, so it can only go on the inside? Oh, interesting. Well, let me put it in the middle. It's fine. Okay, well, the mask is not what I wanted. Edit content? Nope. I can always make something for it later. Automot. Oh, top viewer bot. Stream bot. No. Hey, you got our first bot for the day. How about that? Not bad. Not bad. We're about 48 minutes in. That's not too bad. I think the bots can definitely pick it up a little bit here. They waited pretty long to start sending in their stuff. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do... Right back. And I'm just doing this rough at the moment. I'm not doing this like legit by any means. I could do something like that. I like the 500 little recipes. So fun. Yeah, that's an option. Option. That was a Sunny suggestion. Sunny's always good for suggestions on stuff. That might work. And then we would put stuff on. I mean, we'd be putting stuff on top of this, but at least it's just kind of. It double ends our setup here, where if we had a hanging banner, we would have the book. So each one would have their respective book on it, hanging with the banner style stuff. Either reading is fun or high on buttons kind of idea. Let's just spin it. We'll spin it. You know what I mean? Something like that. Then I wouldn't feel bad, like... I wouldn't feel bad putting stuff on top of it, like when we're doing our setup for events. I can put books on top of it. I can put our other handmade stuff that we've got. I'm not too messy. Sure. You can try to spin that as best as you can, but you messy girl. It's just the way it rolls. Sorry, I'm not sorry. Let's get rid of the guides. I think that's messing me up a little bit here.
Sunny underscore Ruth just inbox emoji, suggestion box, inbox emoji.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you, Sunny, for that. That should go to our Discord. Let me double check, make sure that went in there. Yes, it did. Whee! Okay, cool. Now we have that saved forever. Thank you. So now Dreamer won't forget it. Cooking with Dreamer. Unconventional cooking with Dreamer. I think that's kind of okay-ish. Let's grab this. Actually, you know what? Copy. Oops. I want new layer. Perfect. New layer. Reloop. Let's pick number 2. Huh, that was new. I've never seen that box before. This document contains PDF objects that have been... Oh wait, is that a PDF? That should be a PNG. Oh, I grabbed the AI files. Hold on. That's my bad. Relink, that's wrong. That's why those all look funny. Place, there we go. bad. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. It's not a great one either. Oh, I don't have the... I don't have... Oh no, I'm in the wrong file again. Haha. Almost did it again. Like, I swear to God I have these saved out correctly. Link. Front. Please. There we go. Yeah, it's not bad. Definitely have some work to do on those. 1 and 2 here. Yeah, I don't think it would be... I don't think it's a bad idea to have them set up like this. Okay, why did you do that? Oh my God, what is happening here? Yikes. Oh my God, come on. Okay, there we go. Yeesh. I'm really not enjoying this mouse anymore. Okay, so let's go ahead and export these. Go to desktop for now. See if you can do it without breaking everything. It's got the pinwheel of death. Telling you, struggles. Struggle bus is real. Let's go ahead and export this one. Should be number 2. Yes. Export. Okay. So a lot of the stuff that I do when I'm doing this type of designing and stuff like that is I'll build something and it may not be like perfect quite yet, but then I'll take it into like a sample kind of environment and I'll check it in there, see if it works, does the things I want it to do. And then if it doesn't, then I'll put it back into here, keep working on it, playing with it, and stuff like that. If I'm gonna have all 3 of these banners kind of hanging up next to each other, I want to see what they look like. My mouse died on me on Thursday. Boo! I really, if I wasn't doing all this other stuff, I was thinking to myself, I was like, oh man, I really want to start like a mouse company where you can actually like disassemble your mouse and take and buy new parts for it and change out parts and stuff like that. But that's above my pay grade right now. Okay, so let's need to get rid of something. That's fine. We want to open up this one. Just kind of a pain in the butt because it's actual, I believe this one's to scale. If I remember correctly. 6x3. No, it's not. Oh no, but I did scale them correctly, so I did do that. I don't know what these are for. Select all, nothing, can be deleted. Select all. Nothing on that one either. So we delete. Yeah, that's the problem. So because I built these all to scale, the right scale size, they are really, really big. I think I've reached the point in my life where I just want to be able to repair and fix my stuff. I don't, if it's a $25, you know, mouse, like Alex was talking about that, if he spent like 25 bucks on his mouse, if it's something like that, I don't mind. That's the minimal cost, you know, I can swap out that. But for something that's $50, $100, something like that, I want to be able to fix and repair that, especially with something like the mouse that I have, which is the Destiny mouse, that has all these cool designs and stuff on it. I want to be able to keep that part of it. I don't want it just to be a piece on my shelf. I put that in the wrong spot, that's why. All right, peoples, we've got about 45 seconds here until our first ad break. There it is. There it is. There's number 3. See if I can get this onto the page before we go to a break here. Okay, there we go. At least we have all 3 here temporarily set up. When we come back, we can get them scaled correctly, test them out, see how they're all going to work. If they're going to work at all. What needs to be changed. Alright, peoples, let's swap over to our live cam, see what Sora's up to. Ooh, she's off on a whirlwind adventure. We're going to take a break for 3 minutes, run some ads, and then we will come back and keep working on stuff. We'll pause in the meantime, so stick around, we'll be right back.
function of this total galaxy. The real deep down you is the whole universe. And it's doing your living organism.
All right, I am back. Welcome back.
Expressing it.
For ads, it's always cardio day because they're always running. Haha! Good one. Thank you, Sunny. Appreciate that. They are always running. They are indeed. Ads are the way of the future. I don't know if you all knew that. That's what's going on. Ads for all. The adpocalypse is here. I love how we went from the 90s into the 2000s where ads were, you know, on cable television and everything like that, and then streaming services took over and it was like no ads, and then there was this huge time between the 2000s and now that were you could basically just live your life with no ads on certain things. I mean, if you're watching YouTube or Twitch or whatever like that, those have always been there. But all kinds of streaming services now they're slowly inching their way back into ad services again. I don't get ads when I watch anime. Yeah, but you watch yours on the dark web. I know which sites you use to watch yours. I know. I think the thing that bugs me the most. Yeah, YouTube has had ads forever. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I think the thing that bugs me the most is that I wouldn't mind the ads. I mean, I do mind them regardless. But if I could get all the stuff I want to watch in one place, I would sacrifice for that. But I know that's impossible to do unless you go off on the dark web, kind of maybe on the shadow ends of the dark spider web. Yes, the shallow. I kind of like the shadow end of the dark spider web. Yeah. I don't know. I've told the kids several times, this is like, we may be entering back into the era of high piracy. This might be where we're at again, kind of thing. I hate to have to do it, but damn, it kind of feels like they're making me do it in a certain way. Paid with ads is cancer. Yeah. Yeah, it feels super disingenuous in a lot of ways. That was a weird. Did we just get an ad on our music thing? Did it just reset? Hold on, we're gonna try something. It didn't reset there. Huh, that was weird. Nope, it reset itself there. Oh, interesting. What do I have turned on that made it do that? Oh, Spotify info, there it is. Where did it go? There it goes. Properties. Do I have it? Refresh browser when scene becomes active. Aha, that's what I have problem. That was my bad. Yeah, so every time that it would refresh, it would try to bring that up. That shouldn't do that because that one was set correctly, so that wasn't doing it there. There we go. Never mind. This. If it's paid with ads, then we shouldn't be paying. Yeah, I feel like that's... Well, some of them are also moving their 4K out of the paid with ads. And so you have to pay for the more premium version. I'm like, wait a second. I don't quite understand. We're basically going back to cable with what we're going back to. Because they're just individualized cable is what they've done. Because that's what cable essentially is. Which I found out this week that my grandparents, their cable subscription is like $200 a month. Just wild. But they get theirs is part of the Uverse, AT&T Uverse thing, so they have to pay for not only the service, and they don't have any special channels, but they have to pay for their rental on their box and all of that stuff too. So it's a whole package. Yeah, that's gross. Yeah. But that's the thing. I've heard a lot of people say very similar things about cable, is that it's just gotten wildly overpriced for what they're doing. It feels broken. It all feels broken. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, I think we may be re-entering into an era of high piracy as far as downloading stuff or watching TVs and stuff like that, TV programs. Also, did y'all hear about the news about Firefly getting a new animated TV show? I thought that was interesting. I was a little bit sad that it wasn't a live action. I do have to say, I was a little bit sad. I've already started buying DVDs. That's smart. I did hear that. I think the animated stuff is going to be cool, but yeah, I'm like, oh man, I wanted to see that crew together as a live action. I think that would have been cool. I don't think they would have gotten the setup for it, or maybe this is their way of like testing the waters to see whether or not a full comeback would be possible. Not sure. Let's delete that one because that one's no longer viable. Okay, well, what I'm trying to say is I want it to be an anime. That's what I want. That's just what I want. I don't want it to be a American-based animated. I want it to be an anime because they're gonna do crazy shit if they do it as an anime. That'd be more fun for me. The way I see it, one, they're getting old, right? Two, this actually opens up the kind of adventures they can do since it's not limited to real life stuff. Yes. No, and if they're all in to do the voice acting for it, then that's perfect. Like, and that's what I picked up from that is since they're all on board, essentially to be doing the voice acting, that's really, really cool. I think, I don't know, it's in between. Like since I don't have Paramount Plus, which is, since we're talking about all of that poopiness, I didn't get to watch I didn't watch any of the Picard Star Trek series. I haven't gotten to watch any of the new Star Trek stuff at all. I said Star Trek, not theory, Jesus. But it was interesting I did watch some clips, especially in the last season of, I think it was Picard, where they actually got all of the old cast together for like one last run through stuff from the Next Generation. And I was actually kind of happy about that one. I saw the clips from it, and there's actually a website or a web YouTube channel that actually had the clips kind of cut up so you can see the stuff that was going on. But it was like, oh, it was kind of cool. It wasn't quite in the vein of what I was thinking, because all of those productions have all look like movies now, so they're pretty crazy. But it was cool to see them all together and in that older style. Like I'm not opposed to seeing actors getting older and reprising roles and stuff like that, as long as it makes sense in we're revisiting them as older, and they're not, and they may not be like the main characters. I'd rather them almost have like guest spots on stuff. So one of the things I loved about the Next Generation when it was first coming out, or when it came out, was that they did bring some of the characters like Scotty, and I think they even brought Kirk back in the movie, but the movie was a little overdone. But I think they brought back Sulu and several of the other ones, but they all made guest appearance runs on the Next Generation, which I thought was really, really cool. I think that kind of felt like what they had done with the Picard series at the very end there, was they brought in everybody else kind of on as guest appearance type things. But I don't want a TNG reboot where they're off running adventures as, 70, 80-year-old. Like, nah, I don't think that's... But having little drop-ins and drop-outs kind of thing is kind of a cool idea. But so Firefly would be a weird one to... You couldn't really... Because they didn't really establish how the future would look for them, because it was just based around those characters and their experiences and stuff like that, which I think is part of why it was so popular and so impactful. Because it was just a momentary glimpse at that world. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what they do with the animated one. I think it'll be cool, it'll be fun to watch. And see if they connect all those pieces somehow. Not sure. I don't know if I like this or not. Yeah, I think that's what and the animated series might work better, Alex, like you were saying, because they're just doing the voice acting. They can tell a lot more different stories with those same characters in that same time period without having to worry about the actors getting old and stuff like that, or getting too old at the moment. Like I think it's a good work in between. Because some of those TV shows where they try to like de-age characters and stuff like that doesn't really work. We've actually been enjoying the new Scrubs TV show. We didn't think we were gonna like it. Like I didn't go in with high expectations, because that was a show that really hit in its time period at that time. Like it was very niche in what it was talking about and what it was doing and stuff like that. Like I wasn't sure if that was going to resonate well now. And I get it, there are a lot of like people my age that they've done it well, that it kind of re-resonates again with those. I don't know if it resonates with young people or not. But it also might not be made for them in that way. So, but they actually had on the episode last week one of those flashbacks. It was one of their classic flashbacks, and they did it just like they did in the original series, where they didn't de-age them or didn't do anything to their faces, whatever. It's just they just put them in clothes from back in the day, and they just acted like they would act. Like it felt sketch comedy ish, without all of the CGI and stuff like that, which I appreciated that part of it, which was good. So I don't know, weird blends of things and stuff like that. I don't know. All of this stuff is weird. Like, media stuff is freaking weird right now. When Star Wars came out and did their, George Lucas did all of his CGI for episodes 1, 2, and 3, it was like, meh, it was too much. And then when they started going back to having practical sets and practical puppets and stuff like that with the new stuff, with the new, like, Mandalorian series and stuff like that, and it was a blend of all those things where you didn't just use the CGI to be like, well, we need him to do this crazy thing, just CGI. It was like, no, let's figure out which practical things we can do and then blend part of that together. It's like, it has to be a meeting of all of those techniques, right? They have to be distilled down to techniques, not just patchwork pieces of stuff. So I don't know. I've noticed that in animation and stuff now too, where a lot of animation houses are using 3D cel shaded models to do in between animations. Like, they'll do a lot of the important stuff, the basic, like, if characters are talking to each other and you want to look at their faces and stuff like that, they'll do those all traditionally animated, but some of the in-between shots, maybe like a second or 2 seconds of like a character moving or doing something, they'll use those cel shaded 3D characters and stuff like that. Not bad, but just trying to figure out different ways to make it all work in certain aspects. I don't know. I feel like we're in the wild west of a lot of different things right now. Weird breaking points of all of the things. So this is kind of what the setup looks like now. Or kind of what the setup would look like. The little banners hanging over. And I think my table, what do I have here for my setup here? 6 foot long, like 3 feet tall. How big are these? 2.5 wide. 2.5 wide? No. 2.0. 2 inches by 2.5 inches? That doesn't seem right. That's way longer than 2 inches. Oh no, here it is. 1.3 by 5.6. So it's only 1.25 feet. Oh yeah, that's right, because they're like 18 inches wide. That's what that was. Okay, cool. I was trying to make sure I had that right. Is a standard table 3 feet tall? Does that sound right? 3D in the aspects is fine. It speeds up the fluffs so you can focus on the story beats more. Well, and if it's done well, then it doesn't detract from anything. It's when it's not done well. Like, there was we just watched, what movie did we just watch? It was a Marvel movie that we hadn't seen. Not the Avenger, let's put the B-rated heroes. Shit, I can't remember what it was called. Anyways, there were a couple. No, not the Eternals. No, the Eternals was good. I felt like they did the CG and stuff like that on that one very, very well. No, it's the one with the Yelena and the Red Guardian and Bucky Barnes and I think it's Ghost. and the defunct Captain America. It's that group. No, but I was thinking of like the animation and the blend of CG. Some companies do it well, some do it badly, where you can be like, that was just, they really had to just throw that in there. And I think in animation, sometimes you do get some of that sometimes, where like there's whole dance scenes in a couple anime where everything is completely CG, and it's like, okay, that for the complex nature and of a dance move or dance setup and stuff like that, that would make sense. It would cut a lot of costs. It would allow you to do more complex stuff without having to spend, so many frames animating very complex choreography and stuff. Like I get part of the reason why it's done that way. It's just whether or not it actually helps with the piece or just kind of is like meh, I think that's what I was thinking with that Marvel movie. Is there was a couple like fight sequences that were just like, you could tell it was CG and you're like meh. It's like I don't it doesn't give me any fluff or anything. If it does, it's just kind of thrown in there, kind of set up. Saving will continue in the background. This is a really big file, so that's why this one's eating up a whole bunch of space. What I was hoping to do with this banner system for my setup here was kind of use it as a catalog of the books coming out, right? Is having, I wanted, when I first did the first one, I was like, I want book one with its information so we can kind of like give some color to our setup, give us a little banner to hang, have some information on it, stuff like that. Have the banner with my information on it so that people know that, I'm the author, all of that kind of stuff. Put that all together. But I was like, oh, what if I could use these as a way to kind of like catalog? Is that the word I'm looking for? Basically catalog going through the process and of each book coming out. And it may be one of those things where I may have to take like book one off of there, but if we're going to be continuing to sell these as a bigger series, how would I stack all these on top of each other too? I don't know. Will they all fit on the table? Yes, currently this is, if I did these four, this is the table size right here. So this is what it would look like. This is my mock-up. I can take and pull these down. Oops, I moved something else. What did I move that? So I'm trying to decide. I've made these a little bit. I've got the books there. Those would be up on the table though. So remember, Dreamer, when we were setting up the tables and I had the QR codes and stuff on there, and we were trying to figure out a way to not cover up the QR codes that were printed on the banners and stuff like that, while still trying to put as much on the table as we could. So I was just like, well, what if I don't do the QR codes? Like, get rid of the QR codes, and then instead I could put like pictures of the books on there. And even if they're on top of the table, I don't mind covering them up partially. They're just kind of there. But then if we hung them like this for different events or some other type of event, then then the book covers would be displayed like that as well. So I'm trying to double end a couple different things here where I'm trying to have two different sides that I can use an interchange flip between, like him right here he's grabbing the grass, and here he's throwing the grass. So that's a double-ended version of that. This one doesn't have a double end yet, still working on that. This is our typical reading is fun, and then the adoption one. So like I can double end by flipping these back and forth and using them either way, or I can use them as either short table runners like this, just hanging off the edge, or I can use them for long ones as well. So I'm basically trying to design and engineer multiple functionalities into one setup at a time. Kind of try to figure out what would be best. I don't want to put. I think I do definitely want to get rid of the QR code. Whether or not to keep these, like I can just leave them blank too. That would give us room to be able to just put stuff on top of the table wherever we want. We will have QR codes somewhere. People did scan those. Yeah, I think instead of having them directly on the table where we want to put product and stuff like that, especially if we're gonna start making some more stuff to be able to sell at events and things like that, or even having more books at some point, I don't think I want to have I want to have it so that I can actually cover up this stuff that's on here and not worry about it. So the QR codes might need to be moved onto where we have our draping banners for the pictures of our animals. I think that's kind of the idea. That might be a better location for them, because then people can walk up and scan and shoot them from just standing instead of having to. And they can even, like, if there's a couple people at the table, they can still scan those codes from off of the what would we call that? That's our, because we built it's not a screen. What would we call that? Kind of like our little shop front thingamajiggy. Do we need that many banners? Once you have more books, they won't fit. Do you make a universal one? I was trying to decide if at some point these start getting split in half and we start adding doubles. So you're kind of giving away a little bit here, babe, about this one. But when we get to like 6 books, instead of having we'd have books 1 and 2 on one, 2 and 3 on the second one, and 5 and 6 on the last one. You know what I mean? Like we can start squeezing parts of them together if we want to do it like that, or separating them in certain ways. Like do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of thing. Feels like a lot of banners. Yeah, that's kind of the problem is the marketing part of this. I know with bigger companies, in a way, bigger book stuff happens. They just spend money on it. Like, and I don't want to do that. I'm not advocating for that in any way, shape, or form. Because I think that's kind of why I was sticking with just doing these single ones like this, because then I could mix them in and out with each other. Like I could just put up 2 and 3, or I can put up 1, and whatever combination of them that I want, kind of idea. So I was more leaning that direction with these, is just making one for each of the series. Or each of the books, essentially. Because right now, like, this looks kind of cool with all of this color. Like, it gives it some really cool, colorful vibe and feel to it. Like, I really kind of dig that. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to... It's always interesting to be on this side of the marketing part of this, and if I had disposable income to be able to throw at this, then yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I would just like build things for the events and stuff that we have going on. And but since we're still running on the lower end of that scale, it's like, okay, what can I plan out for future? What can I do for it is colorful, right? What can I think about for longevity wise and stuff like that? Because there are a lot of, I don't know if I've been paying attention to when we go to the other book events. And I think they even talked about it at our last Sierra Arts meeting. Somebody made a joke about it. But a lot of these authors that are like 14 books in, they're like, yeah, I haven't changed my headshots that are on my banners since I wrote my first book. Because I just don't have them. I don't want to spend the money to get new headshots and new banners and repay for all of this stuff. But at the same time, they've got 30-year-old headshots up on the they don't even look like that anymore, kind of thing. So it's like, okay, how do we make this work in that way? That's not good. Have to update, and that is part of the thing is like, okay, I get myself stuck in the idea that I have to, every year that we get around to a new book and stuff like that I have to update everything has to be new, everything has to be fresh, everything has to whatever. It's just like, there's part of that is true. You do want to have new and interesting things. You don't want to just, like, I'm still thinking about our setup and our banners and stuff like that, and how I would like to change them and update them and make them different. And because I want people to have a new experience every time they come and visit us and see what we've got going on. I don't want it to be the same thing every single time either. So trying to figure out what the blend of that is and how that works. It may be that, kind of like we experimented with last year when we built some of our own jewelry and magnets and stuff like that for some of our events. It may just be that some of the things that we make are just on that limited time basis. Like, this is a one-time deal. Like, I don't want to use the Disney vault as a example here, but that's kind of the idea. Is like, if you don't get the stuff now, it's not going to be available again, because these are all handmade stuff. And kind of like when we were at the farmer's market and your cousins bought the little stuffed animal, the handmade stuffed animal thing that was made from upcycled materials and stuff like that. There's only one of those. They were never ever going to find one like that ever again, because the materials that it was made from are not something that is always repeatable in that way. So I'm trying to blend. I think I'm trying to blend a couple different ideas that are really hard to blend together, but I think kind of work, or it can have the potential to work. It just depends on how I market it, how I set it up, and how I'm able to maintain it. And being able to put all that into my head and then spit out the answer to what that looks like, that's kind of hard. I have concepts of how to make it work, but I don't know all of the systems to make it work, kind of thing. Kind of do like having the books on there. It's interesting because I look at inspiration from other creators on from like anime conventions and stuff like that, and they buy a lot of product from or they get a lot of product created overseas and then shipped to them, which then they put into their shops and stores and stuff like that. I don't know if Yumi does it for her stuff, but I know like Sundere does with her setup. She's got a printer manufacturer that does a bunch of her things, and they're always reordering and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's the route. We've talked about that's the route to go, or keeping things, people like the handmade stuff. I don't know. The cat's yelling at me. Yeah, maybe bigger on this, but that's kind of where, not necessarily I'm struggling, but that's kind of where I'm hitting the limit of my knowledge base is. I might be getting to the point, so since we're reaching the stage of book 3, I feel like each year that we've come out with a book 1, book 2, we've made progress on stuff, and we've made leaps and jumps towards cool new things and connections and stuff like that. Like we've done that. This being year 3, and we've got an idea of the events and things that we want to do based off of the ones we did last year, which is good. The question is what is the next leap and jump that we're going to make with this year? Is it going to be doing like we talked about with our local bookstore and doing more of like book tour style stuff, where we're really pushing into do like lots and lots of events and double ending them on weekends and stuff like that? Like, is that the route we're going to go? Are we going to go more of the route of trying to get more marketing things happening and pushing out? Do I start looking into more like awards and all kinds of different things? Like, there's a bunch of different directions we could go, and I don't know which one is the best one to go, especially in our current climate of stuff. I like keeping it fresh for the people. Okay, I do too. I think I go crazy on it, where I'm like, I want to refresh everything that we've done. I don't think that's viable in any way, shape, or form. Want new products for everything? Nope, that's not gonna work. Come on, Tahoe, you gotta get your shit together. That's not the way this works. Actually, you know what? I did this wrong. Let's go 5.5. There we go. That's what I wanted. I think that's... Yeah. I got a lot of things to think about. Especially if I'm thinking about applying for that library job too. Then a lot of this won't matter for beans. There's a position that opened up here in town that for the library. It's an assistant library position, so you actually don't need a library science degree in order to apply for, which is kind of cool. It's like not a whole bunch of hours, a little bit of pay kind of thing, but it would be a good place to get in on the ground floor kind of thing at. Considering it, not sure what I want to do, but it would definitely change how a lot of even the stuff that I've talked about today, how that thinking works and what the idea is. I want the booth to look different each year so fans have new things to see. Yeah, no, I agree. I think being able to figure that out or come up with an idea for it that we can make repeatable, that we can, we're not, breaking the bank or doing a bunch of crazy stuff that doesn't really mean anything either. Trying to find that balance between the two places, right? Kind of the idea. Balance in all things. Balance in all things. Okay, so this got... Did I mess it up here? I did. Guys, I'll have to redo it again. I'm a dummy. Wasn't paying attention. Let's make that a little bit smaller. There we go. That's better. I forgot that I wanted this to be on this fold. This is what happens when I don't have my guides up. Why I didn't catch it when I was putting these on, I don't know why. Can I relink both of these at the same time? Is that a thing? Oh, interesting. Yeah, you can. Meh. Bed. Cool. I want all the cool things, but I don't know how to get all of the cool things yet, is the kicker. Okay, there we go. I got that fixed now. Go ahead and save. Nope, that's not what I wanted. Why you go out? We'll go ahead and save each one of these real quick. Yeah, because like I like the way that looks. That's cool, like that. That's kind of what it would look like from afar. Hmm. Heading out. Have a great stream. Love the banners and love you. Bye. Bye. Thank you, Dreamer. Make sure this saves correctly here. Okay, good. Happy with me. Okay, cool. That. What I wanted to do is open up. I think I want to grab this one. Grab that as well. Copy. Let's just get rid of number 3 for the moment because we're not working on 3. I want to keep that, which I realize that the dots are in the wrong place. There we go. That's correct now. I wanted to change out this one. Yeah, maybe something like that to show off the backyard treasure hunt. I wonder if I should add. What did I do? I had him in his box here and had him reading book 1. What other page? Got some rocks and some things there. Don't need those. Don't save. Yeah, I think that would probably be the better bet here. Yeah, those two definitely fit for our story. So part of the half-true story was that Buttons did actually go outside. At one point, he actually got let out to go play outside. So he did get to play in the grass. So that one being part of our cover, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, that one's good. And then this one reiterating the treasure hunt part of this. It's not the best. I could put some more in there. I'm trying to think what other... The only other time that he's got the treasure map is when he's about to find the real treasure that he wants. Which is actually not on the map, but he's all dirty from climbing around outside. That one's not bad then. But I kind of like this one having the little skull crossbones treasure map idea on it, the little bottle. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at pages, seeing if there's any other pieces that I can snag to put on here. I think I like that one the best at the moment. Do I want to grab... I think I do want to grab one other thing. I think I want to put some grass in there. I should have a few little... Where are they? Open up this. I think I can grab a couple of these. Okay. I can grab this. I can grab these. That. Let's flip the whole so we can rotate view 180 so that we can see it this direction. Let's copy duplicate this. I don't know if I like that at all. I'll put those little leaves in there, but I don't know quite. I'd have to bring over that pile of dirt and put it behind him. That might be a better setup here. Don't save. Let's go back to which page? This one. We'll try it and see what happens. Don't save. Okay, I'll have to play with that a little bit, see if I can put that behind there. So we've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds here before our next ad break. Actually, we're down to about 1 minute here. So let's go ahead, let's save this at the moment. And we'll switch over to our live cam, see where our puppers is. I think she's sunbathing out there. I don't see her at all. We'll switch over to here. We've got about 45 seconds left. Oh, there she is. Look at that. Good timing. Walks right through the camera shot. But yeah, we'll take a break here, do a 3-minute ad run, and then we'll come back and we'll see if we can try to get this wrapped up for our last hour of stream, and then see if I figure out anything with all the rest of my crazy ideas. I don't know. But yeah, so stick around. We'll be right back here in a few minutes.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Okay. Sorry, that took me an extra minute. Spilled some stuff. I had to clean it up real quick. You know how it is. Try to do something fast and then spill it all over yourself. Just natural. Okay. Back to what we're doing. Let's see if we can give this a little bit of something here. Well, let's maybe take this. Like that way. Let's Might use that. Don't need that. Let's see. Don't need that rock. Separate that. Let's get rid of this big blob. It's tuft of grass here. Okay, so we got a bunch of pieces now. Let's get rid of this for the moment. Reflect this. I'm not sure about that. Get rid of that one. Put part of this dirt pile back here. Let's take these and move them out of the way at the moment. Put the other part of the dirt pile here. No. I want the grass. Do anything, I might do that. Let's take those and put those behind everything. Make them a little bit smaller. Put that like that. Maybe something like that. Yeah, then we have a little bit more of an outside feel here. Do want to take this. I want to make Rocco here a little bit smaller. There we go. Yeah, I like that better. Gives a little, because I wanted to have an outdoors feeling. I think without having some of these elements here, he wasn't feeling like he was outside at all. Okay, interesting. Okay. We've got two sides of the same coin. Oops, I pressed wrong buttons here. Okay, so we should be able to flip this back to normal. Rotate, reset, rotate view. Okay, there we go. Now we can use that. But he's got a little outside feel with the pirate stuff because it's a treasure hunt. And then we've got him playing in the grass down here for the bottom part. Sweet. I think that works. I'm not 100% sure still on the books at the top here. But I do like that. I'm feeling better about that one. Might make him a little bigger down here at the bottom. Let's go ahead and get rid of that one. Okay, there we go. Group. There we go. There we go. I like that better. Cool. Lock that down. Keep the QR codes on there for now. Oh, we're not going to use them again, but we'll have them there just in case. Okay. I think we're pretty close on number 2 there. Let's do number 3. Version 1. I think last time we were trying to figure out faces. We have access to more faces now. Open up this one. Open up this one. I also worked on some more faces on my drawing them by hand over on Friday when I was sitting waiting for daughter's climbing class. Actually did a couple more, did some more sketches. I have some in my back pocket just in case. Do I want to look at with our stickers that we made? Okay. It's not bad. Let's see. This is the current setup. Not that mouth. It's actually that one. him doing that one. I could do... do I have any other... Oh, I do have these guys. Any other happy... No. I'm gonna have to dig into my bag of tricks to see what else I have. I don't mind that one. We will have to come up with another one for the other side. Ooh, I think...
Coffee Kindred pet the assistant.
Oh, thank you, Coffee Kindred, for petting our assistant. Yeah, Sora is outside. I don't know quite where she's at the moment. Oh, I do know where she's at. I can see her now. She's right there. She's lying on the deck, just hanging out outside. I tried to set up the cameras. I've got two. I've got one that's sitting on the inside of one of my sliders, which is this one. And I've kind of got it pointed towards where I think she's going to lay down when she's outside. And then I have a second one that kind of catches her when she's roaming around, kind of out on the back fence, looking at the world, checking out all the things. So sometimes we catch her in different spots, and it is just about the perfect weather time in the season here where she's spending most of the day outside. She'll go out there, she's got water and everything like that, but yeah, she just hangs out either on the deck or she goes and sunbathes in the grass that we have out there. And if she wants to come in, she boofs at the door and I go let her in. But that hardly happens when we get to the summertime. She's 8 years old, 8-year-old husky. And we live in an interesting place. We are considered high desert here in Reno. So she gets equal time being in the snowy weather where we can get lots of snow here, and then in the summertime being extra hot outside. She loves both of them. She loves being she'll lay in the sun and just bake a lot of days. And just, you go out there and she'll be a big old drool pile underneath her nose where she's just condensating from breathing in that sun all day, but she just loves it. And then she poofs and she loses a bunch of the fur, the under fur, for being a husky. And then she's happy for the summer, and then she goes back into the winter and it snows a little bit. She gets to run around and play in the big fluffy snow and be happy dog. Living her best lives, I think. Kind of the idea. But thanks for dropping by. Yes, she is very much a cutie. Very, very, very much. And she's a sweetie too. She loves people. She loves kids. Sometimes we think she loves them more than she loves us. But I think that's just natural. At least that's what I keep telling myself so I don't get sad. She loves them more. Let's look. Okay, fix that. I could see a little white. Yeah, see that little space of white right there? I could just barely see it down there in that bottom section through our guides. So that means this one should be... No, that's that. There we go. Yeah, okay. I see what's going on here. I'm just barely off on both of those. I'm just like I'm not even sure that's like a 1/16 of an inch, maybe. That should do it. Okay, no white space there. No white space there. Okay, got that fixed, at the very least. Okay, so... Hey, thank you, Vern, for putting in your points towards our special treat for Sora. That puts us up at 79%. We are almost to getting her a treat that we put that I give to her live on stream. We've got 9 days left, and we've got about 7,000, about 6,300 points left to go to get her to put some points in. So we're getting there. We're almost there. She does a very important job as the assistant. She's here to give all of the ahs and the oohs and the cute feels. Like that's her very specific job, especially when we're in our ad break time. Like that's her main job there. But other than that, then she's like emotional support dog and patrolling the area and making sure everything is kosher and nobody's trying to break into the house or anything like that. So like that's why she gets the big bucks with the treats, right? Why she deserves them. All right, let's duplicate these guys. Let's move them over. Okay, so we're gonna do... Got the facial expression stuff here, but we're gonna change this a little bit. For the other side. Where is... Let's grab this box. Delete that, don't save. Let's put that on its own layer. East. Make it bigger. Yeah, I think we're gonna put them inside of the box a little bit. I think we're gonna have to shrink them though to make this all fit. Yeah, so that's the right size. So let's go ahead, we'll grab all of this, we'll flip it. Some would say flip it and reverse it. That there. And then we'll take the whole, we'll rotate the whole view around so that we can work on it down here at the bottom. box. Box is not going to move. Lock patch at the moment. Let's go ahead and transform. Let's reflect this. Let's put this up here. Okay, do that. Let's do the same thing. Let's reflect this. Oops, did not take his face with him. Oh, the cat scared me. Holy smokes. The actual cat, not these guys. Got a 19-year-old tuxedo cat that lives here. Actually, it's Patch. That's just the character we're working on right here. He likes to yell at me sometimes. I don't think he hears very well anymore, so I think he just likes to let people know that he exists still. Likes to remind the people. What's up, Pat? You need something? He wandered off somewhere. I don't know where he went. Yeah, something like that. What? Oh, that's his tail popping up there. Yeah. I was wondering, there's a little black part come up there. Just get rid of the tail for the moment. Okay, so let's change out their faces a little bit here. Let's do we want to do the open eyes? Yeah, let's do that. Select all, copy, let's swap it. Let's see, gotta reflect this. Go. This is weird, all the controls are backwards because I've taken the canvas and turned it upside down. So it's all weird. Okay, so we got his eyes on there. We want to get Patch's eyes back on there too, so yeah, let's do that one. We do need the nose. Select all, copy. So I gotta select the right place. There we go. And then we can move their, the way I've got the eyes set up, we can move their eyes around here once we get figured out what the positioning is. I know I've talked about this a bunch of times, but part of the way, like I said, I've gotten this set up is the nose. If I get the nose set up with this, the way I've got these all contained within this box right now, then I know the alignment is perfect. That is my alignment tool that I'm using. Okay, we're still a little bit too big. A little bit too big. Okay, just about perfect there. Copy. Okay, there we go. So the question is, do I have them looking out like that, or do I have them looking at each other, kind of? I kind of like the looking out a little bit. I want these four. Select all. Do like that. We're definitely going to need a shadow for them. I don't think I have a shadow for the other ones, though. Not yet. Okay. Those ones might have to go smaller. They're way too big. Do I have... I should put the shadow in here too, just so that I can have access to it. Let's just open this. Doop-doo. Combined. Ugh. Don't save. Let's find a different one. Yeah, should work. Copy. Don't save. We want that below the characters. So let's put that there. Shadows. There we go. That's better. Let's see. Let's duplicate. That's not duplicate. Copy. Let's go ahead and flip this back to our normal rotation. So rotation. Let's put this underneath them. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we got another bot here. Cheap viewers. No, thank you. I'm okay. I got some cool viewers. I like my viewers. I like my viewers. Let's see. Should move that up a little bit. There. Okay, so it's got shadow. This is the one. Do you want to move that up again? I wonder if I should do individual. I'm cool. Yes, you are. Thank you very much. You are very cool. All my viewers are cool. I like all the peoples. I like Inverness. I like Dreamer. I especially like Dreamer. That is my wife. That is Mrs. Tahoe. I like Mr. Alex. I like Sunny. I like all the peoples. I like V-Shack. All the peoples. I could do one of those where I'm like, yeah, everybody that watches me is cool. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm not that type of person, though. Let's see. We're gonna do 2 shadows. Yeah, that's what we would want to do. Then we're gonna combine those. I know you see my posts over, I would assume those are on Blue Sky or Threads, Coffee Kindred. Can't remember. I think those were on Blue Sky. That I think is where you found me. When I was posting about these streams and stuff like that. Let me know if that's correct or not. Move that around a little bit. It's not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, it's looking pretty good now. I ain't mad at it. That's for sure. Only reason why I ask is I'm interested in what interested you about the streams, or what interested you about well, at least coming in here and saying hi, and where, like I said, where kind of you found some of the stuff. Because I'm trying to figure out how all this works, because I know how to do, well, I don't know how to say know how to do anything. I don't know how to do anything. I'm experimenting with a lot of things. I got a lot of I wear a lot of hats and do a lot of different things, so I'm just trying to see what the things are. I'm looking for words to explain what the heck it is I'm thinking, and I cannot figure them out. Is this just like a cool, chill spot to hang out? Am I just kind of weird and quirky? Are you working on projects similar to this? Are you publishing? Are you a book writer? Are you a streamer? Or I want to know more about you. If that's too much, don't worry about it. I just want to learn about the peoples. If there's anything that I can do, or any questions you have about any of the stuff that I'm doing, feel free to ask it. I think what I'm trying to get at is I'm trying to figure out what I can do in this space. I think I enjoy doing the streams and stuff like that. And I think they can be a useful tool and helpful place for people if they need to find, or kind of not, maybe not find, but give them an idea of where to go for certain resources in this type of format, I guess, as I build it myself. Because I'm trying to figure out how to do all of the publishing, marketing, building, writing, all the stuff for this book project that I've been working on. So I've run across enough people in face-to-face interactions that are always looking for information, and the area that I live in is trying to rebuild some of that with our monthly meetings and stuff like that, but it's still very small. So and our meetings are limited because they're like once a month, which is nice, but that means that's a whole month where if you have a question or something in the middle of it, you kind of have to wait to ask or find resources and stuff like that. So I'm like trying to decide whether or not what I've got going on is a nice bridge, or nice bridge between the two gaps, right? That I may not know all of the stuff, but I'm pretty good at researching and finding some of that information, and some stuff I have run across a little bit. So it's like I do have 2 books currently fully published and out and available. The 3rd one is currently on its way. So like I have experience on that side of the coin that I can share and be able to help with. So I'm just trying to figure out what utility I can give to people, and if it's useful or worth anything in the long run. So kind of where I'm at, trying to figure it out while working on projects and doing stuff as well. Okay, so this one is good. I'm also trying to figure out, in a world where a lot of AI stuff is slowly mixing together with traditional and digital art and stuff like that, trying to figure out whether or not like documenting the actual process of going from the very beginning, like sketches that I have, and writing pieces. So see, no, my Spotify thing reset itself again. Huh, weird, it's doing that on its own. Whether or not documenting all of this stuff is helpful or useful, or if people do end up coming by and looking at my setup and what I've got going on, and they want to claim or say anything like this looks like it's generated or whatever like that, I can literally go back and be like, I streamed for 6 months, 3 days a week, and you can see the entire process where I documented down, or you get to see me build the entire books from scratch by hand, digitally on that. So like, it's hoping that's useful maybe in some ways. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out, trying to find out if I am being helpful or useful in any way, and seeing if I can make any money off of running ads and stuff through Twitch, and if there's enough people that want to subscribe to the channel that it can actually support part of the book projects and stuff. Because as anybody knows, like none of this stuff is free. You can ask Inverness here. Like I can't imagine how much your camera setup and stuff costs. If it's anything like student loans, you're probably still paying it off. How much does your camera rig and stuff cost you? Have you paid it off? Was that a one-time purchase, or are you slowly still paying it off? That's the other fun thing about these streams, is then I can ask people questions too. Okay, so let's Let's export this. So my camera gear I purchase in full as business expenses. Okay, so you probably write off 99% of that on your taxes then. One of my camera bodies alone costs $5,000. Ooh, that hurts my heart. I mean, it's good for you, but like, yeah, that's about what I expected. One of the camera bodies. Dang, that's not lenses. Lenses are expensive too. I know that. Fuck. Dang. Yeah, I had a feeling that was a big cost on that one. Yeah, one lens I bought used. Lots of people buy gear or used gear. Yeah, that's when I was in photography a little bit and going into shops and seeing, because this was like early on. This is like the if this was 2000s, mid 2000s, this was like beginning. No, I would say about the middle to the end of the death of physical camera stores and stuff like that, or not physicals, but like film camera stores and stuff like that. Like that was really the nail in the coffin time zone. But even just going into those stores and seeing the sheer amount of equipment that was in there, and for just every piece of type of photography that you could need or want, just hundreds and thousands of dollars worth of stuff everywhere. It was crazy. We have a handful of camera stores here. Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, it was so fun to go look at all of the stuff, but just to think about that at the time, I was a broke college kid being like, I can't afford thousands of dollars. Like, but I do remember buying my first Canon camera. It was I think it had a 50 lens on it, an 80 lens. Maybe it was an 80. It was nice. It had some modern features with it, with some auto features. It was not bad. Like, I learned how to use the manual side, and then learned how to. That was a cool camera because you could switch it to do half auto and half manual. So like if you wanted to change shutter speeds, then it would tell you what the auto was for the apertures and stuff like that, depending on what you were doing. So that was kind of cool idea that it gave you, and then vice versa. You could swap it and set your aperture, and then it would auto set up for the other stuff. It was a cool like beginner camera to play with and understand, focal lengths and all of that fun stuff. So, but I think I bought that one. I did buy that one at a camera store. I think it was new. It was a No, it wasn't a Canon. It was a Nikon. That's what it was. I can't remember. Oh, I might have a picture on my. Do I have a picture of the camera somewhere? I might have a picture of it still somewhere. It was a Nikon. It was cool. I did end up selling it, unfortunately. Let's see. Let's open up this because we're going to want to export that out. We don't need that at the moment. Yeah, because we fixed that one. We just never exported it. Export as. Fully support local camera stores. The cool part is like I was worried during that time when, because this was in the middle of Sacramento too, which is by no means a small area, right? Sacramento, California is huge. So to see a bunch of those camera stores slowly disappearing was like, oh no. Like even in this like metropolitan, like huge space with lots of people, and to see those stores drop out of existence is like crap. What does that mean for this as a whole in the future? Like is it going to, you know, really shrink down and then not exist at all? Or I don't know. Like, I think that's where my brain stopped. It was just like, I don't know what the future holds for this. Looking at it now and seeing that a lot of that did shrink down, but a lot of those industries and stuff like that have come back a little bit. There's a little bit of rebound that has come back, which is really, really cool. I think one of those ones like Polaroid, that company just went totally out and somebody else bought it and was like, nope, we're gonna keep making this just for not necessarily shits and giggles, but to keep it going in that way. And it's just like, cool, that's awesome. That means we still have those physical forms that we can shoot with and do certain things with. And companies that are making new film and stuff like that is really cool. And I think it just goes to show that, like, none of this... Why am I re-exporting that? That's not what I want. I want number one. None of this stuff actually ever really goes away. It just kind of changes and evolves into something different again. I mean, shoot, people are still making pinhole cameras out of cans and stuff like that and getting film and shooting cool stuff with that. That was a huge resurgence of that type of photography again. Old school forms. Vintage forms, I guess you would say. I don't know. Cool stuff. That took a really long time. All right, let's go back to our sample here. Let's change this out, relink, because we changed some of it. Okay, cool, and it didn't crash, so that's good. Let's redo this one. I'm working with huge files here, by the way. If you're wondering why these exports and saves are taking such a long time, the banners that I have built, these are made to scale. I probably didn't need to do that, but I wanted to make sure everything fits. So this is actually a 72 inch by like 18 inch wide file format that I've set up here. So anytime that I'm importing these into this really small space, it's trying to pull those gigantic files in over here. Really don't need it that big, but I wanted to make sure and keep the quality and stuff so I didn't lose anything. Please, this one. Yeah, I think it's very much similar to supporting like indie bookshops and stuff like that now too. I think people are just more aware and understanding of some of those pieces. I mean, there's still the commercialized part of it. I mean, digital photography just definitely, it holds a certain amount with all of that. Just always will. And they're making cameras better on phones and stuff like that is cool and all, but it just doesn't have the same, like, I can do certain things with my phone, and I've been able to manipulate stuff around enough to give it a camera-esque vibe to it, but it just doesn't have that same, feeling, right? Like, it doesn't have, you can do way more with a lens camera than you can with a digital one from your phone. Just the way it works. I think the quality and stuff that we got to with the film cameras before that whole reduction in that. They were really fucking good. Like, they were sharp as shit. Why that was, I mean, I know pixel stuff is pretty damn good, but I don't know. Still feels a little off. It's not quite there yet. I don't know if the sensors, if they have more room to get the sensors better or not yet, but just slightly off still. Do you shoot mostly on digital, or do you do everything on film, Vern? I would assume most of your stuff is shot digital for work, and then all your fun stuff is probably film. Okay, got that updated. That's good. Reflect. Result. There we go. Oh. Wait, what did I just do? Ah, I did. I messed it up. Okay, cool. Got it fixed. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I wanted to be able to do. I wanted to be able to flip these either direction, and yeah, that works perfect. So I can either have this side or I can have this side. There we go. Ooh, I lost something in the translation here. Is it on the other side? Wait, what happened here? What the heck? Oh, did I have that turned off? No, everything's turned on. That's weird. It's missing the outline. Both of these words setups here are missing their outlines, but the outlines are here. I'll export it again and see if it fixes it, but that's really weird. Nope, did it again. Weird. Well, now I gotta figure out why it's doing that. Let's go ahead and just delete these three then. We'll just do a fresh export without going over top of the previous one, and we'll see if that does something different. Alright, we've got about a minute and 13 seconds here before our next break. Looks like our assistant is off running around again. Check this one. Dude, Adobe, what the fuck? Okay, it's sticking around. So this is exactly what I see here. I think this is the problem. They've got something that is not saving correctly. It's not saving all of the layers correctly. See how these words have the white outline around them? Both of them do, right? Stitch tails, whatever. I just exported it out again and it looks like this. No white outline. So something is happening here that I don't understand. I'm gonna have to dig into it a little bit. Probably after stream here. See what the heck's going on. Weird. Alright, so we're gonna take a quick break. We'll come back and then we'll finish up the stream and then we'll go from there. So stick around. We're gonna take a 3-minute break and then we'll be right back. Sora does not want to cooperate. She's like, no, thank you. Do not want to be filmed. She's such a goober sometimes. Such a goober. Such is life. I remember I was talking about the sunbathing. She was out there sunbathing. I was like, oh, I'll move the camera and catch her sunbathing. As soon as I put the camera down and started walking back in, she's just like, nope. I was like, oh, turd muffin. Turd muffin. Spin, spin down. There we go. Perfect. All right, everybody. That'll be it for the day today. Thank you all for coming by. I will be back on Wednesday for our 2-hour stream. Doing more stuff like this, trying to get ready for in-person events that we're going to have throughout the year here. We've got a couple scheduled so far, which is nice. we've got our release date for book number 3 coming up here in July. They will be available online for pre-order. They'll be online for purchase through places like Amazon, Barnes & Noble. They'll also be available to pick up, just like the rest of the books in the series, at any of your local bookshops. So if your bookshop has a connection to Ingram Spark, which is the biggest distributor of books in the world, they literally send out a catalog to all of the bookstores. Anyways, they can order it. They can order it for you. It is a print-on-demand book. Thanks, Sonny. Ad break incoming. Oh wait, never mind. No, we just got done with our ad break. So yeah, the book can be picked up all over the place. Like I said, we'll be doing pre-orders and stuff like that for book number 3 coming up pretty soon here. I'll have announcements for that, and we'll have trailers, and there'll be lots of stuff coming forward with that. So yeah, in the meantime, we're still waiting on my sample copies to come in that I ordered, so that I can preview and make sure all of the printing looks good. Once that's done, then we'll have more stuff to work on again and get ordered. So yeah, that's kind of the breakdown, things that we're looking forward to. Lots more, like I said, we've gotten to the end of the process where we're doing a little bit of waiting for stuff to get produced on the third-party side, and then we can start doing more of the events and things like that, the planning for the rest of the year. So yeah, it's kind of the idea. Hey, Ghost Guy. Good afternoon. Hello. Book 3, trailers, explosions. Yeah. All of the things. So. But yeah. Perfect timing, Ghost Guy. We are just getting ready to end the stream. Haha. I appreciate you coming by. You get to see a little bit of Sora laying on the deck in the backyard, so that's perfect. She's just hanging in. I show up at just the right time. Yep. Right when we say we need somebody for the raid, we need a 6 for the raid, Ghost Guy shows up to save the day. I'm playing. Yeah, I will be back on Wednesday. We'll keep working on some more stuff. Like I said, we're in the marketing phase of all of this stuff, so more product stuff. We'll probably I've got an idea for some handmade stuff that Dreamer and I want to do, involving cutting some stamps, hand cutting some stamps and stuff like that. So we might do some of that on stream if I get brave enough to purchase the materials for it, and kind of go from there. So yeah, that's the plan. But let me go through and thank everybody that was here. Thank you, Sunny. Thank you, Weird Mr. Alex. Thank you, B-Shack. Thank you, Dreamer. Keep going down. Thank you, Inverness. Thank you to Coffee Kindred for being in here. Thank you, Ghost Guy, for coming by and saying hi. I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Monday. I know it's Monday. I know. But I hope you have a good one. And if I don't see you on Wednesday, I hope you have a good rest of your week. And yeah, I don't know. I still don't know how to end these quite yet. I don't know what the stuff I want to say is quite yet. So, but we'll get there. But yeah, have a good day, everybody, and we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.